Hey all, my name's Jordan and I run the Amped Up Tank YouTube channel, and this is my Tank 300, and this is pretty much going to be a 20,000 kilometer owner's review. You might be thinking, hey mate, 20,000 k's, that's not much. But this car only gets wheeled. This is not your go to the shops car. That's the go to the shops car. So that's my wife's car. That uses about half the amount of fuel as this car. About this one, this is the Petrol Ultra 2023 model. This came out in October. I went and got this at Llewellyn, Ipswich. Got this for 51,000. Got it with a tow bar and mats inside. So this review is on a vehicle that has done a lot of off-roading. So I've been to places like Genoan's 4x4 Park, Springs 4x4 Park, I've been to Gordon Country, I've taken this down to places in Sydney, down near Bathurst, I've taken this up north to places such as the Glasshouse Mountains, taken it to Bribie Island, I've taken it to Fraser, I've taken it to Imbil State Forest, Kenilworth, so many places. Now, you might be thinking, hey mate, why does your car use 13-14 litres 100 and mine only uses about 10? You know, tanks are shocking. Well, if I look down here, this tyre, this is 33.2 inch. And I had to add the 0.2 because, you know, bigger is better, right? I can't just say it's 33. The 0.2 counts. It adds up. Yeah, I always tell my missus that too. But hey, these are the OEM rims on a 33.2 inch tyre, which means there's going to be like some problems, and I'll explain that. So the actual numbers of this is 275 over 70 R18. So it's still a 18 inch OEM rim, and that's the size of the tyre. These rims are plus 42 offset. So what that means is it's quite far in. If I change the rim, which I will in the future, I would get a plus 25 offset. And what that will do is it will bring the tyre out this way. And why would I want that? Doesn't that make it illegal? Now the plus 25 won't make this illegal because the fender, as you can see, that's square with the vehicle. The tyre isn't poking. So if we bring this 17 more mil that way, so how I got that is these are plus 42, if I put plus 25. So how you do the calculations is 42, take 25 equals 17. So it'll come 17 mil out. And why I want that is if I get in here, that is the sway bar. Now you can see there that is scrub. So when I have this wheel on full lock left, if I have a full lock right, it will scrub on the sway bar. Now this is only causing issue when I'm at low speeds, so it's not dangerous, but it is something I need to get fixed in the future. So I'm not sure if I want to go to ROH or just go a cheap Steely or something, but I need to get something that is good weight rated, because I think these ones are about 1,400 kilos normally per wheel, and I typically get this car on 2 wheels. So I think this is a 2.2 ton vehicle, add me and gear and all that jazz, we're hitting about 2.5, you know, I got a battery in there, fridge, so on. So another thing is I've got one of these big wheels on the back. It's not too high up on the window there, but also a lot of people wonder, that's a lot more weight on the door. Yeah, but you're right, it's a barn door and it's going fine. These things I do need to grease up every now and then. Right there, I'll grease those up, but no real issues. Hey, oh, another thing, this car, it came with a 240 volt port, because it was one of the first ones to come in Australia. So this was the second batch that came into Australia, and I was lucky enough to have that. And why you don't see that in any of the new ones is because those ports don't meet Australian standards. Oh, look, mine doesn't meet Australian standards. That's okay. That means I got to charge a premium while I sell it in the future. Just don't look at any of the damage. This has never been off-road, by the way. Only bitumen. Okay, so if we come over here, I just want to show you guys some of the damage I've done to these tyres. So we get down here, what's this? Wow, don't worry, no steel or nylon or anything like that showing. So she's all good. We've got damage to the rims here, cuts here, we got cuts here, a bit more damage on the front one. Got heaps of cuts here. So they're Dynapro AT Extremes, by the way. Also, right here, what's this? This is a slider. What's going on? If I quickly look around the other side. No slider yet. What's going on? That looks a bit odd, mate. Well, that's because we're trying to build them ourselves and they're a little bit difficult. We spent about 3-4 days on them and we still haven't been able to complete them. But under here we got brackets going around the chassis rail. I'll show you this bracket and you can see the bolts up there around the chassis rail. This back one I haven't actually fully bolted up yet. It's just hanging there by the front too, and that's because I didn't make that bracket long enough, so the bolt won't go through. That's unfortunate, but real sliders you can see there. And the sill here, it looked really disgusting, so I went and got some chalk grip tape from Bunnings. This one cost me about $50, and I got that and I tried to make it look pretty. There's a little bump here, tried to make that look pretty. That's actually connected and holding this up. While I'm down here, this is the lower control arm bracket you can see here, and if I get closer there's a fair bit of damage, so I'll smack that a few times. Just remember this slider's new, so that wasn't there, so that's been getting smacked up. And it was mentioned that I can actually get a bracket to protect this, but with the slider there I'm not sure if the bracket will fit, so I may just need to bend that back into place, fix that up with some rust prevention stuff, paint it up, get it good to go again. But these lower control arms, they'll be changed in the future. I'm looking at maybe some superior engineering ones. Some more stuff under the vehicle. Just get up. I had some damage because of the sway bar. Now, I went wheeling out somewhere, shall she not be named because it's private property. I didn't do it, by the way, it was someone else. The sway bar was smacked over. I'll just get under here. So, you don't know what a sway bar is. This is the sway bar here. So it runs just behind the pumpkin, called the pumpkin. Holds the oil. And this is a control arm bushing. So what has happened is I've smacked it, done too much flex, I've done something, and this sway bar has been pushed over to the left. And these wirings here, this wiring loom, it was rubbing up against this sway bar. This sway bar was rubbing up on there, and it rubbed and rubbed and rubbed, and you know, that's what she said. But there's a blue wire in there that got damaged, and it runs the diff locks. And it also runs your ABS. So when I was driving around and stuff, the ABS would go off randomly, which is quite dangerous. And when I attempted to go forward driving one day with the boys, my diff locks wouldn't engage. So I went to GWM and was about 2 trips to Llewellyn, and they couldn't diagnose what was wrong. And then I went and did 2 trips to West Point Autos. They couldn't diagnose what was wrong. So I went to an auto electrician and he found it. I didn't even think to look under here. And he's fixed it up and it's working all good as new, but not after they couldn't replicate issues at GWM and stuff, and they charged me $320 to fill up brake fluid, saying that was low and that was the reason. And I drove it off the lot and that happened again pretty much instantly. But, you know, that's a story for another day, right? Up here, you can see some nice springs in there. What's going on, guys? Well, over here, we've got some EFS Elite shocks as well. So we've got a pretty good kit in there. That's a 2-inch EFS kit, and you're probably like, why have you got that? Well, that actually stops the back of my car lifting up off the ground when I get hard on the brakes. I know a lot of people were talking about that issue when these cars first come out, and if you get the right kit in there, fixes it up, which is what you want. What else do we have? Some little bits of modifications that I've done. Just turn the lights on. And I open up the bonnet. So if I go to the front, you can see top fire grill with some lights. And how I'm running that is got some Co-Gear lighting adapter which runs from the headlight to this, and it splits off and I can run the lights. So when I got the nighttime lights on, they come on. I could have it on the daytime, but during the night they're not on, but they're on during the day. So I just turn the lights on when I want them on. Not sure how to get around that yet. One day I'll sort it out. Another thing, I won't take it off right now, but this the airbox, and these are the clips. In here you can just see there's gaps. What's going on? I don't want water in there, man. But you know, the water goes in there, gets sucked in, goes in there. You don't want this. So I need a snorkel. Bro. Over here we've got the battery. What's going on? You got some wires, man. What's going on? So I've got the positive, I've got the negative. Got to break it down here. That's running to a DC to DC charger in the rear of the vehicle. So in the rear, there's my Blue Eddy DC to DC charger mounted up on my brackets from, I believe, X-Car. Are pretty cheaper from some other competitors, and there's another breaker right here that came with the Blue Eddy. I got a fair bit of gear. I got first aid kit, I've got tire plug kit, I've got radios, snatch strap, shovel, straps and stuff, bungee cord. I've got fire extinguisher. I've got all the gear. And then I've got the Savage Tech format. Also got a tire pressure gauge right there. What else? So in here, I've got the Savage Tech mats. Over here, Savage Tech mats as well. Seem to be getting a bit of damage on here. Another thing that I've done, because I don't have a slider on this side, what I've done is I keep hitting this. Oh, bit of dirt fell. Maybe I'm hitting it too hard. But I smack these little bars. You can see they're quite bent. And this gets smacked up into the seal or the door. And you can see I bent it a little bit right there. So what I'm going to do is, I've been told I can get some pliers. I can get a towel or a rag. Put it around it. I can heat this up with my heat gun. And I can bend it back into place. So that will look good as new. Never been off-road, cuz never. Don't worry, bitumen only. I sell it to $5.99 or not. No. But in all, this car has been fantastic. What else? What else is going on under here? Damage. Did I show you the rear bumper? So the rear bumper gets a bit of damage on here. These lights get kicked in. Same as the other side. There's a fair few scratches there. There's a lot of damage on my bash plates. So if I get under. So these are the custom off-road bash plates. These are 3mm thick. These are the Savage Tech winch points, recovery points, and they've been painted green. But obviously I smack this on stuff, so you can see that the red's coming back through. Over there you can see EFS MRP 2.5-inch suspension. Story for another time about these, but they look pretty good. They feel good as well. But let me just try and get under here for you. So these bash plates are sort of bowing, and that's because I've used them. So they're starting to look a bit like a W, but they're actually holding up and doing exactly what I needed them to do. I do know a mate that's broken a CV. His name's Greg. Might be able to find his channel on YouTube. And up there, if you can look, I've put some Superior Engineering control arms in. So I'll just show you those. Right there, some Superior Engineering control arms, which they said they only fit on the Canon, but we've managed to fit them on the Tank 300. I messaged Superior and they said, mate, we're not sure if they'll fit on the tank, but I've gone ahead and bought them anyway, and they fit perfectly. So I went on the Fulcrum website. They said the Canon ones also fit the tank, and I was like, okay. Savage ones, yeah, the Canon ones fit the tank. Oh, and I was like, okay. Well, won't the Superior ones fit the tank as well? So I just went ahead and done it, and perfect. So I'll just quickly check my mobile and see what other notes I had in regards to this. I've damaged some of the sound dampening because of the tyres being so large. So that's the sound dampening, and that was before I had the lift. So it won't rub anymore. Another thing I should add is this is the fuel tank, and if you look here, this is bowed. So I've smacked that. Same with a few pieces up here. I've smacked it up, but she hasn't actually pierced the fuel tank yet. And you can see also this piece has rubber under it and stuff. This is all coming apart as well. So I'm definitely going to need to think of something where I can get a plate or just replace these, because they're copping way too much damage. Control arm is fine on this side as well, but another thing I didn't mention is the reason I don't have sliders on this side as well is because I've got the fuel tank here. I need to drop the fuel tank just so we can get the measurements of the brackets to then put the sliders in, and we got to deal with, like, we got wires and stuff here. There's random stuff up here. I'm not sure if it's literally the same chassis for the hybrid and these have wires and stuff in it for the hybrid or what, because these things are useless. So we just got to work with what we've got, right? And that's why on the other side it looks like I should have had the mounts in certain spots where it would be even, but I couldn't because I just had to do with what I could under here. So one of the things I hate the cup holders, because cup holders suck. You can't fit anything normal size in there. Like you can fit maybe a 600ml Coke. Maybe you can, but you're not going to fit a big 2-litre bottle of something. It's just not going to happen. And it's the same with the side ones. Like you can't fit anything of decent size in here. Like, it's good luck. So you really just have to sit something on the seat in the air, and if someone's there, you got to throw it in the back. Like there's nothing you can do about that. That's a little bit about my tank, and I'm just gonna keep adding some stuff to this, and follow for more and stuff like that, because I'm going to be adding the Superior Engineering panhard rod and stuff to the back, the Superior Engineering lower control arms. They've given me a bloody massive sticker, but I don't think it'll fit there. It's literally the size of the whole back window, and I'm not going to put that there. Way too big. But thanks for tuning in, and look, I'm keen to see you guys wheeling out there, especially if you're in Queensland. Look, come join the Queensland Tank Club of thingy 4x4, and we'll get out there and we'll have a bit of fun. Thanks, guys.